Welcome. Today we're diving into a question that confuses many. Can you get both SSI and SSDI at the same time? These two programs are essential lifelines for millions of Americans with disabilities, but their rules and eligibility can be tricky to understand. In this video, we'll break down what SSI and SSDI are, how they differ, and whether it's possible to receive both benefits simultaneously. We'll also explore who might qualify, what the process looks like, and what you need to know if you're considering applying for both. Let's get started by understanding the basics of each program. SSI stands for Supplemental Security Income. It's a federal program designed to help people who have little or no income and are aged, blind, or disabled. SSI provides monthly payments to meet basic needs for food, clothing, and shelter. Unlike some other benefits, SSI is needs-based, which means your income and resources are considered when determining eligibility. The program is funded by general tax revenues, not Social Security taxes. If you have limited income and resources, SSI might be available to you, even if you have never worked or paid into Social Security. SSDI stands for Social Security Disability Insurance. Unlike SSI, SSDI is an insurance program for people who have worked and paid Social Security taxes. If you become disabled and can no longer work, SSDI provides monthly payments based on your work history and earnings. The more you have worked and paid into Social Security, the higher your potential benefit. SSDI is not needs-based, so your income and resources do not affect your eligibility. However, you must meet the Social Security Administration's definition of disability and have enough work credits to qualify. Now that we've covered the basics, let's compare SSI and SSDI. The main difference is that SSI is needs-based, while SSDI is based on your work history. SSI is for people with limited income and resources, regardless of work history. SSDI, on the other hand, requires you to have worked and paid Social Security taxes. Another difference is how benefits are calculated. SSI has a federal benefit rate, while SSDI payments depend on your past earnings. Understanding these differences is crucial for determining which program you might qualify for or if you could be eligible for both. So, can you get SSI and SSDI at the same time? The answer is yes, in some cases. This is called concurrent benefits. If you qualify for SSDI, but your monthly payment is low, perhaps due to a limited work history, you may also be eligible for SSI to supplement your income. The Social Security Administration will review your income, resources, and SSDI benefit amount to determine if you qualify for concurrent payments. Receiving both can help ensure you have enough to cover basic living expenses. Not everyone can receive both SSI and SSDI. To qualify for concurrent benefits, you must meet the requirements for both programs. That means you have a disability that meets Social Security's definition, have enough work credits for SSDI, and have limited income and resources for SSI. Typically, people who receive a small SSDI benefit, often due to a short or low-paying work history, may also qualify for SSI. The Social Security Administration will calculate your total income to see if you meet SSI's strict limits. When you receive both SSI and SSDI, the Social Security Administration coordinates your benefits. Your SSDI payment counts as income when calculating your SSI payment. If your SSDI is low enough, SSI can make up the difference up to the federal benefit rate. However, if your SSDI increases or you receive other income, your SSI payment may decrease or stop. It's important to report any changes in income or resources to avoid overpayments or penalties. Let's look at an example. Suppose you qualify for SSDI, but your monthly benefit is only $400 due to a short work history. The federal SSI benefit rate for an individual is higher than that, so you may also qualify for SSI. The Social Security Administration will subtract your SSDI payment from the SSI maximum to determine your SSI amount. In this case, SSI would provide additional funds to bring your total monthly income up to the federal benefit rate. To receive SSI, you must meet strict income and resource limits. For 2024, the resource limit is $2,000 for an individual and $3,000 for a couple. Resources include things like cash, bank accounts, and property, but not your home or one vehicle. Income includes SSDI payments and other sources. If your total income or resources exceed these limits, you won't qualify for SSI even if you receive SSDI. If you think you might qualify for both SSI and SSDI, you can apply for both at the same time through the Social Security Administration. The application process involves providing detailed information about your medical condition, work history, income, and resources. The SSA will review your eligibility for each program separately and determine if you qualify for concurrent benefits. It's important to gather all necessary documents before applying to make the process smoother. Both SSI and SSDI require you to have a qualifying disability. The Social Security Administration uses the same definition of disability for both programs, a medically determinable physical or mental impairment that prevents substantial gainful activity and is expected to last at least 12 months or result in death. Medical evidence is crucial, so make sure to provide thorough documentation from your healthcare providers. To qualify for SSDI, you need enough work credits. Generally, you earn 1 credit for each $1,640 of wages or self-employment income, up to 4 credits per year. Most adults need 40 credits, with 20 earned in the last 10 years. Younger workers may qualify with fewer credits. If you haven't worked enough, you won't be eligible for SSDI, but you might still qualify for SSI if you meet the other requirements. If you haven't worked enough to qualify for SSDI, you may still be eligible for SSI. SSI doesn't require work credits, so it's available to people with disabilities who have little or no income and resources. This makes SSI a vital safety net for those who are unable to work or haven't paid enough into Social Security. When you apply for both SSI and SSDI, the Social Security Administration will process your applications together. They'll determine if you meet the requirements for each program and calculate your total benefits. If you qualify for concurrent benefits, you'll receive 1 monthly payment that combines both SSI and SSDI. The SSA will continue to monitor your income and resources to ensure you remain eligible. It's important to report any changes in your income, resources, or living situation to the Social Security Administration right away. Changes can affect your eligibility for SSI, the amount you receive, or even your SSDI benefits. Failing to report changes can lead to overpayments, penalties, or loss of benefits. Always keep the SSA updated to avoid problems down the road. If you receive more benefits than you're entitled to, perhaps because you didn't report a change in income or resources, you may have to pay the money back. The Social Security Administration can recover overpayments by reducing your future benefits or requiring repayment. In some cases, failing to report changes can result in penalties or even loss of eligibility. It's always best to be proactive and honest with the SSA. Some states offer additional payments to SSI recipients, known as state supplements. These can increase your total monthly benefit. However, eligibility and payment amounts vary by state. If you receive concurrent benefits, your state supplement may also be affected by your SSDI income. Check with your local Social Security office to see if your state offers a supplement and how it might impact your benefits. Receiving SSI usually qualifies you for Medicaid, which helps cover medical costs. SSDI recipients become eligible for Medicare after a 24-month waiting period. If you receive both SSI and SSDI, you may qualify for both Medicaid and Medicare. This can provide comprehensive health coverage, but the rules can be complex. It's important to understand how these programs interact and what coverage you can expect. Receiving SSI and SSDI can affect your eligibility for other government programs, such as SNAP, food stamps, housing assistance, or energy assistance. Each program has its own rules about counting income and resources. Be sure to check with each agency to understand how your Social Security benefits might impact your eligibility for other support programs. If you receive both SSI and SSDI, your SSI payment will be reduced by the amount of your SSDI benefit. For example, if the maximum SSI payment is $943 and you receive $400 from SSDI, your SSI payment would be reduced to $543. The goal is to ensure your total monthly income does not exceed the federal benefit rate. This calculation is done automatically by the Social Security Administration. Your living situation can affect your SSI eligibility and payment amount. For example, if someone else pays for your food or shelter, your SSI payment may be reduced. The Social Security Administration considers your living arrangements when calculating your benefit. Be sure to report any changes, such as moving in with family or receiving help with expenses, to avoid overpayments or penalties. Marriage can impact your SSI eligibility and payment amount since your spouse's income and resources are counted. For SSDI, marriage usually doesn't affect your benefit unless you're receiving benefits as a dependent or survivor. If you get married, notify the Social Security Administration so they can recalculate your SSI and ensure you're receiving the correct amount. Children may qualify for SSI if they have a disability and their family's income and resources are below the limits. SSDI benefits for children are usually available if a parent is disabled, retired, or deceased and has enough work credits. If a child receives both, the same rules about income and resource limits apply. The Social Security Administration will review the family's situation to determine eligibility and payment amounts. If you're approved for SSI or SSDI, you may receive back pay for the time between your application and approval. SSDI can also provide retroactive benefits for up to 12 months before your application date if you were disabled during that time. SSI back pay is usually paid in installments if the amount is large. Receiving back pay may affect your resource limit for SSI, so be sure to spend it on allowable expenses or consult with the SSA. If your application for SSI, SSDI, or both is denied, you have the right to appeal. The appeals process involves several steps, including reconsideration, a hearing before an administrative law judge, and further appeals if necessary. It's important to act quickly and provide any additional evidence requested. Many people are approved on appeal, so don't give up if you're initially denied. You may be able to work while receiving SSI and SSDI, but there are strict rules about how much you can earn. For SSI, any income you earn will reduce your benefit, and earning too much can make you ineligible. SSDI has a trial work period, allowing you to test your ability to work without losing benefits, but earning above a certain amount for too long can result in loss of SSDI. Always report work activity to the SSA. The Ticket to Work program helps SSI and SSDI recipients return to work or increase their earnings. It offers free employment services, training, and support. Participation is voluntary and doesn't affect your benefits right away. If you're interested in working, this program can help you transition back into the workforce while protecting your benefits during the process. The Social Security Administration regularly reviews your case to make sure you still meet the disability requirements for SSI and SSDI. These continuing disability reviews, CDRs, can happen every few years, depending on your condition. You'll need to provide updated medical information and may be asked to complete forms or attend exams. Failing to respond can result in loss of benefits. If you're unable to manage your benefits due to your disability, the Social Security Administration may appoint a representative payee. This person or organization receives your payments and uses them for your needs. Representative payees are responsible for managing your money and reporting to the SSA. If you need help managing your benefits, ask about this option. If you receive a large sum of money, such as an inheritance or settlement, it could put you over SSI's resource limit. A special needs trust can help protect your eligibility. Money in a properly established trust doesn't count as a resource for SSI, as long as it's used for your benefit. Consult with an attorney or financial advisor to set up a trust correctly. ABLE accounts are tax-advantaged savings accounts for people with disabilities. Money in an ABLE account doesn't count toward SSI's resource limit up to a certain amount. You can use the funds for qualified disability expenses, such as education, housing, and healthcare. ABLE accounts are a great way to save money without risking your benefits. SSI payments are not taxable, but SSDI benefits may be taxable if your total income exceeds certain thresholds. If you receive both, only the SSDI portion might be subject to federal income tax. Most people receiving concurrent benefits have low enough income that they don't owe taxes, but it's wise to check with a tax professional or the IRS for your specific situation. Your immigration status can affect your eligibility for SSI and SSDI. Generally, only U.S. citizens and certain categories of legal immigrants can receive SSI. SSDI is available to non-citizens if they've worked and paid Social Security taxes and meet other requirements. If you're not sure about your status, contact the SSA or an immigration attorney for guidance. Veterans may qualify for SSI, SSDI, or both, in addition to VA benefits. Receiving VA disability or pension benefits doesn't automatically disqualify you from Social Security programs, but the income may affect SSI eligibility. Veterans with disabilities should explore all available benefits and coordinate with both the VA and SSA to maximize support. Special rules apply to people who are blind. For example, the earnings limit for SSDI is higher for blind individuals, and SSI has specific work incentives. If you're blind, you may be able to earn more without losing benefits. The Social Security Administration provides additional resources and support for blind applicants. People over 65 can qualify for SSI based on age, even if they aren't disabled. SSDI is generally for those who become disabled before retirement age, but you can receive both if you meet the requirements. As you reach full retirement age, SSDI converts to regular Social Security retirement benefits, but SSI can continue if you still meet the income and resource limits. Mental health conditions can qualify you for SSI, SSDI, or both, as long as they meet the Social Security Administration's definition of disability. The process for proving a mental health disability can be complex, requiring detailed medical records and sometimes evaluations by SSA doctors. If you have a mental health condition, be sure to gather thorough documentation and seek support from your healthcare providers. Children with disabilities may be eligible for SSI if their family's income and resources are below the limits. SSDI benefits for children are available if a parent is disabled, retired, or deceased and has enough work credits. The application process for children involves medical and financial reviews, and benefits may change as the child becomes an adult. Students with disabilities may qualify for SSI or SSDI depending on their age, work history, and family income. SSI has special rules for students, allowing some earned income to be excluded from the benefit calculation. If you're a student with a disability, check with the SSA about how your education and work may affect your benefits. There are many myths about SSI and SSDI. Some people believe you can't get both at the same time, but as we've discussed, concurrent benefits are possible. Others think you can't work at all if you receive benefits, but there are work incentives and programs to help you return to work. Always check with the Social Security Administration for accurate information. Applying for SSI and SSDI can be complicated. Many people seek help from disability advocates, attorneys, or social workers. These professionals can guide you through the process, help gather documents, and represent you if you need to appeal. Some work on a contingency fee basis, meaning they only get paid if you win your case. The Social Security Administration offers a wealth of resources online and in person. You can find information about SSI, SSDI, and concurrent benefits on their website or by visiting your local SSA office. They also provide booklets, FAQs, and contact information for further assistance. Take advantage of these resources to stay informed and get the help you need. Rules and benefit amounts for SSI and SSDI can change over time. It's important to stay up to date by checking the Social Security Administration's website or subscribing to updates. If you receive benefits, read all correspondence from the SSA carefully and respond promptly to any requests for information. Let's recap. You can receive both SSI and SSDI at the same time if you meet the requirements for both programs. SSI is needs-based, while SSDI is based on your work history. If your SSDI benefit is low, SSI can supplement your income. Be sure to report any changes to the SSA and take advantage of available resources and support. Understanding your options can help you maximize your benefits and financial security. Navigating SSI and SSDI can be challenging, but knowing the facts makes a big difference. If you think you might qualify for both, don't hesitate to apply and seek help if you need it. The Social Security Administration is there to support you, and many resources are available to guide you through the process. Stay informed, be proactive, and remember that you're not alone on this journey.